Dzień dobry, assalamu alaikum, ciao, konnichiwa, bonjour, Allah, privet. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Ken at 10. Lots of news for you this week, and the news is good and bad. What do you want first, the good or the bad? Personally, I like the bad news first, and today is the Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of England meeting, and that means the bad news, I'm afraid. Interest rates are likely to go up. The widely held rumour is that they're going up by 0.75%, 0.75%, which would be the largest rise in a long time. And yes, that's bad news. It does mean higher payments for most of us that are not on fixed rates. And of course, they're trying to tackle that inflation that's coming through at mad rates. And of course, the problem with that is that raising interest rates is a very slow way of stopping inflation, because many people are on fixed rates on their mortgages, and so it doesn't impact them immediately. And similarly with companies, the loans that they have are sometimes fixed, and therefore it doesn't impact them immediately. So tough times, and we're all facing those tough times in one way or another. On the other side of things, the market so far has actually risen in terms of transaction levels in August. It's up by 7.6%, which is a bit of a surprise. And the big surprise of all, of course, is this Truss giving money away wherever she seems to go at the moment, isn't she? I'm sure we won't like her as much when we actually get to know her a little bit better, but we'll see. The jury is out, as they say. But she's talking about stamp duty cuts, you may have heard. Builders' shares are already rising on the back of this news. The idea that they may be cutting stamp duty in order to, help the market. But I always have thought that stamp duty is a bit of an unfair tax in the way that it's loaded in certain ways, particularly those that can least afford it, particularly first-time buyers specifically. Here in London, they're still paying an element of stamp duty if they're paying above 350,000, which in London doesn't buy you very much. So I say very much, I know that sounds a bit off, but actually there are plenty of people out there that would spend more if that stamp duty threshold were higher. I think it should be set at around £500,000. As far as pensioners are concerned, I think they should be exempted for a period of time, perhaps the next 12 months. And what that will do is it will make them free up the homes that they're in, because they'll see it an opportunity to get out during a window when costs are lower. And that's going to be important to free up new stock for the families that are desperately looking for homes where nothing's coming available. This is a real problem right now. But yes, interest rates today likely to go up. We think 0.75 of 1%. We hope you fixed your rate before this, but if you haven't, there's not much that can be done. It kind of is what it is, isn't it? Have you put the heating on yet? No, me neither. But it's coming, isn't it? That point when you have to, one of my colleagues here in the office said, I don't understand what the problem is. When you're cold, go outside, have a walk. When you come in, you'll feel warm again. That's all very well when the temperature's like it is now. But as it gets colder, at some point, we're all going to have to stick that button on, aren't we? And it's like, fire up that old gas boiler and get the heating going. But the reality is, what I fear about this more than anything else is for the pensioners that may well be so frightened to put on their heating that it costs them their life. So let's hope it doesn't get to that. But I do fear that that's what we may be headed for this winter, which is awful. Apart from that, as far as today's concerned, I'm off in court today. Sad but true. Now and again, we have to go in court with lettings and management. And today we're up there with a case. And so I'll be out for much of the day doing that. As far as the business is concerned, we're still busy. Still very busy on sales, taking on some great new instructions. I'm pleased to say thank you to all of those of you that put your faith in us. And it was lovely to negotiate this week on a purchase for somebody. Something we do is when someone's selling through us, we, free of charge, will negotiate on the place that they're buying. And we managed to seal them a really good deal on a house where there were a dozen competitors, and we managed to seal it for our client. And they're very grateful. It's very exciting and very nice to be able to share with them their joy in clinching that deal and securing the home of their dreams for their future. That's one of the best things about this job. But apart from that, I hope you have a great day. Thanks very much for watching. We do have the podcast coming up tomorrow as well, where we'll dive more in depth on all of these things, such as the interest rate rises, the stamp duty, what's going on there, what the implications are, if we have more news by then. And we'll get the meat on the bone then and try and really talk around the subject in much more depth. Apart from that, have a great day. Look after yourselves, and if you can, your family and friends. Ciao.